live. The time is 7:27. Today is Thursday. Thursday, August 20th. The day that really changed my life. Losing my niece. Nothing was ever the same again. My baby sister lost her niece due to a drowning. I was not there. I always had worried about my kids because I wasn't there. Got to take my headphones off. Hopefully I was heard. But I want to reflect a little bit on this day because the same sister that I couldn't even match her tears, I couldn't even cry because I would feel fake. There's no amount of tears that could muster up that feeling. However, that same baby sister would put on me or try to cause me to feel those same tears by siding with my family, siding with my ex-husband and his wife. Probably had all kind of sexual encounters. I'm gonna say what I fucking want to say. I mean, group activities, probably slept with my kids. Everything is doggone damaged in the past, honey. It's been exposed, and that's the story I'm gonna take it, because they ain't gonna take accountability. And them knowing that I be posting certain things, just reading the title alone, ain't nobody ever fucking try to defend their reputation. So yeah, they messed up coming for me. The one that had so much compassion for people in the family and even on the outside. Yeah. Today is the day. And I'm starting to think that they've probably been doing this. They've been doing this to me so bad that I'm thinking if my sister haven't sacrificed her own child for insurance money because she's sued, supposed to be my mother. If the house probably was in my name, ain't no telling. But sued my mother. I never seen not one dime of that money. And I remember going to the lawyer with her. Why would she have, I don't remember signing anything. I just remember going. But I don't trust them jokers. And the situation I'm in, it's too late to even save my own damn kids. It's like they done all took NDAs or blood oaths to go against me. I can't fight because I don't have the money or lawyers. Yeah. My voice will be heard though soon. My voice will be heard soon. I get back to work, I know what to invest my money in on. No, they better get to them. My ancestors better get to them better quicker than I. I mean, hopefully they're being haunted every day and night, all through the night. Because nobody takes accountability in my family. But somehow I was born to be their karma, and everybody's playing their role, so who gives a fuck, right? So today is Thursday, but I'm reading for the 18th, which was what, Tuesday? Yeah. Yeah, so let's get it because I don't have much time. So I'll be reading very fast. Trying to. It's a beautiful day here in Times Square. All right, let me flip the camera so I can read this moon energy. Appearances can be deceptive. The season of transformation. Be strong. Um, this is like old news to me, but somehow, with spirit being in control, lets me know. I mean, the reading got me through the day, and that's why I'm strong down to deliver it days after, I guess. But that's only due to my work ethic. Like, I'm going to school, and then I'm trying to draw on the energy of this day. Alright, there's no need to me explaining myself. Let me get this on record. For today is Thursday. One more day, one more day, one more day to the weekend. To the strong beginning of the weekend. Okay, so see, I got some viewers. Could be spies. It doesn't matter. Everybody's playing their role. So, the moon. Appearances can be deceptive. Season of transformation. We're going to start this reading off with a tower. A wake-up call. Bam. Sudden upheaval. Abrupt change. Disruption. Storm clouds gather in the heavens as a lightning bolt strikes the tower, sending a naked figure tumbling headlong from the fiery blast to an unknown destination. We never know where lightning may strike, suggesting it is an unforeseen and shocking event. The tower could represent an abrupt change that brings upheaval and disruption. Unexpected news may arrive suddenly that shakes the fabric of your world, or a situation disintegrates. As creatures of habit, the structures we build in our lives create a sense of security. Sudden change rattles the foundation and plunges us headlong into uncertainty. This abrupt event usually comes from an external source and may feel outside of our control, so there tends to be an air of inevitability about it. However, you can control your response so it can serve as a warning to consider alternative plans or prepare contingency measures. As with all the cars, the tower operates across a wide spectrum. Keep a sense of perspective rather than assuming an extreme or worst case scenario. The tower brings a flash of insight as it removes a false philosophy that was built on shaky foundations, and it allows you to build anew from a stronger base. Reversed or challenging aspects. The tower reverse may minimize the impact of the upright meaning or can indicate a danger averted. When followed by challenging aspects, it can intensify the situation and show the subsequent fallout. Okay? The moon. Appearances can be deceptive. Uncertainty, illusions, and unknown factors, secrecy. A mechanical device appears to frame or project the moon onto a globe, creating an optical illusion. Set between two pillars, the moon dominates the scene in a twilight sky, suggesting an intermediate and changeable state. The creatures respond to their natural instincts, and the crab emerges from the ocean of the subconscious, representing the shadowy aspects of the unknown. The moon can represent illusionary situations, possible deceptions through veiled activity, and feelings of uncertainty due to unknown factors that cause confusion. Emotions are highly charged and fluctuating, similar to the ebb and flow of the tides from the gravitational pull of the moon, which can create a sense of instability. It can warn against jumping to conclusions, as the light of the moon can create illusions, shapes in the shadows that are not what they seem. There's usually more to a situation than first meets the eye, so wait until the situation has revealed itself, as it will in due course. The mystical associations of the moon can represent dreams becoming more vivid as the subconscious reveals itself, and intuition may be heightened, but care will be needed due to the illusionary nature. Reversed or challenging aspects can intensify the less favorable aspects, such as delusion, hallucination, and paranoia. Being switched off from reality, trippy deception, smoke and mirrors, or concealment may suggest something dissipating and on the wane. So the Three of Swords. Yeah. What a heartbreak. Every rose has a thorn. Stormy emotions, quarrels, and upheavals. Three swords pierce a heart against the background of a dark sky, suggesting stormy emotions and wounding actions that may run deep. A symbol of the sun sits over the heart and can represent the self or ego, which may feel injured. There may be a storm brewing in some area of your life, and it can bring quarrels and upsets. There could be conflict with sharp exchanges and cutting words. There could be or hurtful actions that go straight to the heart and wound deeply. As a lower number of the suit, the Three of Swords can show the early stages of a disagreement, So care should be taken to prevent escalation. Upheavals in family situations can sometimes be indicated. Traditionally, this card represents the painful experience of heartbreak in all its forms. However, with challenging cards, it's important to keep things in perspective and relative to any surrounding cards that may be present. This helps provide some context. The Three of Swords can sometimes represent a long distance relationship or those separated by distance through circumstance. Reverse or challenging aspects when reversed, it can represent a disruptive influence that's similar to the upright meaning but to a lesser extent. Some see the reverse card as healing and relief after strife. If the upright card is followed by one of a more challenging nature, then it can indicate more serious repercussions developing. The Magician. The power of commitment. Applying active intention, self-mastery, and skill. The magician displays the mastery of his skill as he suspends the symbol of the four suits before him. The Lamanistic display on his third eye, and repeated across the suspended element suggests his ability to control all the forces through focused will. A bright light emanates above as he makes the divine link between heaven and earth to bring forth the manifestation of matter. The magician reminds you that you have all of the skills and ability required to handle something well and bring about a successful conclusion. You will need to apply yourself with concentrated and focused will to the task at hand in order to succeed. Whilst you have the potential needed to manifest your aims, you will need to actively work with all the tools at your disposal to bring about the desired results. The magician isn't a card of wishful thinking, but one of using initiative and taking action with a single-minded purpose and a clear intention to utilize your capabilities. The magician demonstrates the power you already hold within with the potential to direct and transform that energy through self-mastery. So reversed or challenging aspects, when reversed or with challenging aspects, the magician can turn into a cunning trickster. It warns of misusing abilities or manipulating a situation with less honorable intentions, scattered energy that's out of control and ineffective, lacking skills and willpower, delays and blocks, or communication problems. The Fool. Keep the faith. Trust your instincts. Something new and unexpected. Surprise! The masked harlequin suspends the signs of the zodiac in the air. All the potential and wisdom of the heavens contained within each sign is at his fingertips. The playful demeanor defies his skillful dexterity. The Fool is full of surprises, numbered 0. The card represents the moment before creation and holds unexplored potential. 0 also suggests the infinite circle of life, Alpha and Omega. The Fool represents something new and unexpected leaping in from out of the blue. A new beginning beckons and will require a choice as to whether you take a leap of faith to allow or to follow where it leads. It usually suggests something completely new that would take you into unfamiliar territory. While it may seem an exciting proposition, your inexperience could cause you to question whether this will be an unexpected opportunity or a fool's errand. Unanticipated and surprise events can be indicated, so situations can be spontaneous and unpredictable as they're driven by external factors. Expect the unexpected, keep an open mind and an adventurous spirit to appreciate the unexplored potential of the infinite possibilities that the Fool may bring. Reversed or challenging aspects can suggest folly, careless, or reckless behavior, naivety, or an immature attitude. Alternatively, it can represent being overly cautious and unwilling to take any risk. When upright and followed by a challenging card, it can warn of a new path that could fail. The Knight of Pentacles. Trees that don't bend in the wind won't last the storms. Long-awaited outcomes, slow and steady progress, long-standing situation. The knight and steed are adorned in suit colors with a pentacle shield and an alchemical sign for earth. They appear to have taken the scenic route as they steadily ride through verdant countryside. The squirrel can represent resourcefulness, being industrious, and keeping score. The rabbit acts as a reminder of the fable that it's not always the fastest who wins the race. The Knight of Pentacles represents a long-standing situation that finally comes to fruition and can relate to any area of life. It often brings the outcome to a matter that has been patiently awaited or results finally forthcoming for something that you'd almost given up on. It can indicate a slow burn situation or something developed over a long period of time. The Knight of Pentacles suggests slow and steady progress and planning for the long term. If you're using the Knight to represent a young person or facet of personality, they would be steady and reliable, practical and methodical by nature, and fairly mellow. They don't like to be rushed and can be stubborn or set in their ways. Reversed or challenging aspects, situations can become stuck without movement or progress, including financial resources. Representing a personal character trait, it would assume the less favorable aspects. Someone with lack of imagination and ambition, becoming set in and boring routines. It may also suggest laziness. So the Eight of Wands has appeared. What makes you fucking tick, Shavonda? Everything makes me tick. It's just out of my control right now. You know? However, news arriving swiftly, events gathering pace and travel. Eight wands fly across the sky in contrast to the peaceful pastoral scene found below, as if to highlight the aspect of speed. Wands are already an energetic and fast-moving suit, so this image creates additional emphasis. Imagine the swift movement of an arrow traveling through the air, then consider the impact of 8 simultaneously. The Eight of Wands indicates swift movement. With the arrival of good news you should be pleased to receive, and it brings an element of enthusiasm and excitement. All forms of communication may be highlighted, but particularly email and text messages due to their speedy nature. Situations connected to the internet may be relevant for some. Events in progress are picking up pace and gathering momentum, so situations set in motion should now advance rapidly. This card usually indicates a fast-moving time frame. When appearing in present or immediate future position, it usually represents situations happening soon, tomorrow, or next week. When closing a sequence, it would show a speedy conclusion to matters. Travel may be relevant for some, especially by air. Reversed or challenging aspects, the Eight of Wands reverse tends to bring a literal reversal to the meaning, so it can represent less favorable news arriving. Delays, miscommunications, and sometimes disputes may feature. There can be snare-ups with travel arrangements, so allow additional time and double-check details. The Queen of Pentacles. To have a friend be a friend. Practical and reliable, highly organized, with an air of quiet confidence, the queen displays her pentacles to us against a luxurious background of green and gold and magnificent peacock, a symbol of wealth and prosperity. Despite her high rank and status, she is dressed in fine yet simple clothing, suggesting an easy composure with her work. As a person or character trait, the Queen of Pentacles is capable, grounded, and down to earth. They are extremely orderly and a natural organizer with a keen eye for detail and good practical skills. They have a solid and reliable nature, and home and family is very important to them. They tend to take things in their stride and have an unstoppable composure. The Queen of Pentacles is good at managing resources and usually adept with financial affairs and material matters. Stability. Stability and security are important to them, but they can be fixated on details or become set in their ways. This card also indicates someone who is moneyed or financially independent, can be connected to accountants or financial services. In divination, the Queen of Pentacles can indicate a mature adult, traditionally female. Can represent someone with an astrological sun sign of the earth element, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. Reversed or challenging aspects may become rigid with routines and resist change at all costs. Insecure and fixated upon material matters, constantly counting the cost regardless of financial position. Calculated behavior for financial gain. Materialistic. The Knight of Cups. Getting caught up all in emotions. Why? Because offers or proposals and invitations. The gallant Knight of Cups makes a graceful entrance as they offer you their cup, suggesting an emotional token. They appear to be on a romantic quest rather than one of battle. The comparison horse bears the outcome of a sign for water and rears in the stream, which is symbolic of emotions. The Knight of Cups presents you with a pleasant proposition, and while it may be of a romantic variety, it can also represent an offer or proposal in any area of life that affects you on an emotional level. Traditionally, the Knight of Cups indicates a marriage proposal, but it can also be a declaration of love or an invitation for a love interest. It can also apply to different situations in other areas of life, such as work or property offers, business proposals, or social invitations. If using the knight to represent a young person or character trait, this knight can be a romantic idealist, charming and considerate with a sensitive nature. They may have artistic tendencies, but can be unrealistic dreamers, moody with shifting emotions and lack following through. Reversed or challenging aspects offer or invitation postpone or fail to develop. A proposal may not be as it first appears. If you're looking for a committed relationship, then this may be one to avoid, okay? As the reverse card can suggest one who enjoys the ideal of romance, but with no strings attached. A flirt, a serial dater, or someone who is otherwise non-committal. And that could be me. I don't want to be in my night energy, trust me. But I'm such a hopeless romantic. I need love. My priestess needs love. So, the Seven of Cups. So many choices. So little time. So many choices. So little time. The Seven of Cups. Options and choices. Pipe dreams. Like visions from a dreamscape, each of the seven cups partially reveals a fascinating curiosity. You would need to step closer to see them fully. They float in the air, suggesting subconscious desires or tempting daydreams. The dark clouds on the background serves as a warning against clouded judgment. Whilst the Seven of Cups can bring options and choices, it is also a card that warns of daydreams and unrealistic desires. The tempting choices on display have an illusionary nature, which adds a cautionary note of being sensible to avoid wishful thinking or building castles in the air. You may feel overwhelmed in a situation where multiple options seem to be available. Imagination could color your thinking, and it would be easy to get carried away with the potential of possibilities. Whatever you may be faced with, ensure you take a practical and realistic approach and thoroughly research all the facts available before making your choice. Reversed or challenging aspects may represent a clearer vision for the future with the ability to cut through illusions. An alternative view considers a lack of choice and lost opportunity through dithering. Some see the reverse card as an expansion of the upright meaning, and this may be the case if the upright Seven of Cups has a challenging aspect when followed by a less favorable card. So the Eight of Swords. Where did my life go? Restrictions and limitations, feeling disempowered. A blindfolded woman kneels against the clouds, encircled by illuminated swords, both representing the air element and thought. The blindfold shuts out external senses, while her loosely bound wrists suggest she may not be as captive to the prison of swords that seemingly constrain her as she first appears. The Eight of Swords can represent fearful thoughts that are holding you captive, making you feel trapped or disempowered within a situation. And sometimes it can suggest being in denial and refusing to see the truth of the matter. Although this card often represents something based on fear that holds negative thought patterns. The symbolism in this image contains both the cause and the solution within the apparent contradictions. The duality and double-edged nature of the radiant swords reveal both clouded thought and insight, whilst the surrounding clouds and blindfold prevents seeing the truth. A calm head is required to face your fears and make adjustments. While the Eight of Swords may be based on the mental process, it can also reveal a tangible restriction or limitation that is causing an impediment to progress in some area of life. This could include finances, relationships, or being confined or housebound, for example. Reversed or challenging aspects, the Eight of Swords reverse can represent obstacles removed or breaking free from constraints, released from limiting beliefs that hold you back. If the upright card is followed by challenging aspects, it may show the situation intensifying or escalating. So the King of Swords has appeared. Nothing succeeds like success. Serious and responsible, enigmatic. The King of Swords' steely throne appears to dominate him, perhaps referencing the cool exterior he exudes. Cold as steel, it floats in the sky of his airy domain, indicating an analytical thought as he presents his sword with a serious demeanor. As a personal representing character traits, the King of Swords has an authoritative presence and can make a natural leader with courage and a good backbone. Quietly confident with a reserved demeanor, They may appear slightly detached and prefer to get on with the task at hand without fuss or fanfare. They are observant and analytical, a rational thinker with a sharp mind and good intelligence, and a reasoned and articulate individual. They're not inclined to wear their heart on their sleeve and may seem something of a closed book and difficult to fathom, but they have hidden depths. The King of Swords makes a loyal friend and protective partner, provides good advice, likes to see fair play, and take responsibilities seriously. The card can sometimes represent someone in uniform or legal or justice positions. In divination, the King of Swords indicates a mature adult, traditionally male. It can represent astrological sun signs connected to the air element. That's Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. Reversed or challenging aspects can appear to be standoffish or unapproachable, tough, inflexible, or uncompromising, may seem formidable or intimidating. Some see the reverse cards as the opposite, representing flawed thought and decision making, or someone weak and ineffectual. So, we are on this moon energy. Appearances that can be deceptive. A reading for the 18th of August. We're at the top of the hour, a little bit past. So, the Seven of Wands. Fortune favors the brave. Defending your corner. Courageous, courage of convictions. Negotiations. A man appears to guard a brightly lit doorway that is. With wand in hand, he confidently stands his ground to the six other wands that advance towards him. The open doorway may suggest the inner plane of his psyche, his internal world and beliefs, rather than the material or physical world. The Seven of Wands suggests you may be challenged and feel the need to defend your corner on a point of principle or regarding something that you feel strongly about. It may be time to stand up and be counted. And this could be concerning matters that's close to your heart or where you feel your integrity is at stake. While you may meet with opposition, the Seven of Wands indicates that you hold an advantage and have the upper hand. So with the right approach, you can win through in the situation. To do so, you will need to remain calm. That's not a problem. Have confidence in yourself. That's never been a problem. And possess the courage to stand up for what you believe in. That's not a problem. The Seven of Wands also represents negotiations. However, reversed or challenging aspects, you may be working from a weakened position. That's the problem. And have difficulty holding forth. Yep. Self-doubt or the inability to make decisive or hold firm. For some, it may indicate taking a dogmatic approach, being in a fixed mindset, or being overly defensive. So the Knight of Swords is here. minute. I don't like to find flaws. I got two meanings of the Knight of Swords. I got a Knight of Swords and a Knight of Points. Damn it. This is not good, and it's gonna delay my progress in reading. The Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. Oh, look at my chats. Look at my chats. This girl is AI. Dude, please tell me what the fuck are you talking about? I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. So, the Knight of Cups. No, the Knight of Pentacles. That's the trees that don't bend in the wind, won't last the storm. So, the Knight of Swords. Oh, that's anger. I'll change it later. But anger is the only thing improved by delay for the Knight of Swords. So let's read that. Events unfolding rapidly, swift and decisive action. Bedecked in colors of the suit, the knight draws their sword, ready for action. The shield heraldry bears the alchemical sign of the air element. Their high vantage point provides a strategic advantage on their quest as a seeker of truth, suggesting lofty ideas. An eagle soars in the heaven as symbol of honesty, truth, and wisdom. The Knight of Swords indicates a rapid pace with events unfolding at such speed it may feel quite chaotic. It brings a powerful force into play and can place you in a strong position, but you need to be ready to roll with a fast-paced situation and take swift and decisive action as required. This card adds a turbo charge to events and is sure to get things moving. Anticipate a sense of urgency with a fast-moving situation and have your running shoes on standby. If using the knights to represent a younger person or facet of personality, then the Knight of Swords would be brave and courageous, honest and principled, and quick-witted with a serious demeanor. They can also be strong-willed, impatient, and aloof. Reversed or challenging aspect, dashing into things without care or planning, reckless behavior or aggressively pursuing something for the sake of it, without cause or principle. As a facet of character or a person, it can indicate someone who is hostile, aggressive, antagonistic, distant, or cold-hearted. So, the devil, your own worst enemy. Excess, unhealthy behavior, secret plans, engulfed by flames, a bare torso emerges against the backdrop of a large pentacle. The element of fire and earth dominates, representing unbridled energy and material pleasures. The horn mask can suggest secrecy, but also the blind pursuit of earthly desires. The devil represents the shadow side of human nature, so all forms of excessive tendencies and hedonistic behavior can feature. The card is steeped in the temptations of the earthly and material world. Addictions can sometimes feature as a form of self-enslavement. The devil is like the itch that you can't scratch, yet you're always free to walk away. The devil can indicate a passionate or compelling relationship with a strong physical attraction, and although not usually a healthy one, it can suggest obsession, controlling and manipulative behavior, or clandestine affair. But check any supporting or surrounding cards to verify. It may also carry an aspect of secrecy, such as secret plans being made either by you or others around you. The oppressive nature of this card can add a sense of heaviness when you feel helpless to change a situation. The devil has a toxic quality that can taint any card it immediately follows. Reversed or challenging aspects, when reversed, it can represent release from unhealthy behavior or negative influences. When upright and followed or surrounded by challenging cards, it can intensify the upright meaning and sometimes indicate nefarious activities. The Emperor, life is what you make it. Leadership and authority, responsibility, structure, and stability. The Emperor dominates the scene as he raises above and surveys his domain, showing one in control and command. He stands in front of the zodiac wheel, suggesting mastery and ruler over all. Aries sits above his head, a symbol of leadership with fiery passion. The scrolls indicate important affairs of the state as he plans and governs for the benefit of stable society. The emperor represents leadership and authority with good reasoning skills and calm rationale to help forge structure and bring stability to situations. An area of life may require you to step forward and take the reins with a sense of purpose and mature responsibility to be in control and in command of the situation. This card can place you in a good position to achieve your ambitions by adopting similar qualities and stepping into your power. It can suggest successful endeavors and promotions or positions of responsibility may be highlighted. Sometimes it can represent those in powerful positions as higher authorities of the land, the leaders and rule makers of society. A relationship it may suggest taking head over heart approach or favoring logic or over emotions, but can also help to bring stability. Reversed or challenging aspects can become domineering or tyrannical, self-important or drunk on power or ego out of control. Ambitions may fail to become realized. Authority is weakened and leadership is under threat. Secure structures and situations become unstable. The Three of Cups. All for one for all. Celebrations, social groups, and events. The image reflects a joyful party atmosphere as we see three women dance with streamers and sparklers. Two golden cups pour into a third upright and overflowing cup, suggesting an outpouring of emotions and finding unity, shared joy. The Three of Cups can represent all forms of cheerful celebrations and festivities, from formal social occasions such as weddings and black tie events, to informal get-togethers or gatherings with families and friends. It can indicate your friendship groups, socializing or social setting, group activities, and collective or community experiences. And on a personal level, it can highlight those celebratory punch in the air moments of life that bring shared joy and elation, such as buying or selling your home, getting a new job, or receiving any type of good news that brings happiness and abundance of good cheer and reasons for rejoicing. The Three of Cups brings an overall sense of joie de vivre. Reverse or challenging aspects. The Three of Cups reverse can suggest being overly indulgent or hedonistic, excessive pleasures, or generally going over the top and overdoing it, but not to the extreme found in the devil. For example, it may indicate feeling isolated, ostracized, or left out by friends. It can also represent the cancellation of a social event or occasion. So the Eight of Pentacles. Struggle now, enjoy later. I love that card. It's such a very motivational card. It gives me hope. Because even though I'm struggling now, I will enjoy later. However, news, work, learning, and studying. Surrounded by books and working by candlelight. A young apprentice studies the pentacle at their desk, suggesting learning and commitment to the task. Seven pentacles hang above as they continue to perfect their technique. A spider weaves webs around the pentacle and desk, marking the passage of time as an industrious mouse observes their efforts. The Eight of Pentacles is known as the card of the apprentice, so it can represent learning and studying in a traditional setting, but also vocational courses or an informal study program. It suggests dedication to your craft as you polish and perfect your skills towards mastering proficiency. This is the main card I would usually look for to show a new job or position of employment, while for those in business or self-employed, it can show there will be new work arriving. It can represent refining your natural talents and, for some, the possibility of developing them into a business. And on a literal level, it can sometimes suggest going back to the drawing board. Reversed or challenging aspects can indicate unfulfilling work where skills and abilities aren't fully utilized, lack of application within work or training, careless efforts, taking a new role or project that is short-lived, being out of work, or the realization that a new position is a dead-end job that lacks future prospects, lack of new work for those in business. The Four of Pentacles. The more we get, the more we want. Material ambitions, over caution, drifting. A fine In fine surroundings, a richly dressed merchant clutches a container of gold close to him while admiring the four pentacles within. He appears overly attached to his possessions. The four pentacles can show that you're focused upon your material ambitions and prepared to work hard to achieve financial goals. Material stability and security may be important to you at this time, so you could be saving for something important or alternatively trying to be frugal and organize a budget to hold on to resources and improve your situation. Once you have achieved your aims, care should be taken to guard against the risk of an imbalance of values developing, such as a materialistic or unhealthy preoccupation with money matters. The Four of Pentacles has a traditional reputation of being the card of the measurer. For some, it can represent withholdings, a fear of loss, or being overly cautious, and this may be in any area of life, including on an emotional level. A calculated risk may be required to move things forward. However, reversed or challenging aspects, reversed, the less favorable aspect of the card can become accentuated with an excessive attachment to possession, hoarding, or being miserly. Some see the reverse card as a sign of loss or money slipping away from you, but this could also be due to lax money management. So I forgot to mention that the meditation for that day was the Emperor card, life is what you make it. So let's get to this moon spread. There is 6 cards, 6 questions each card. The time is 8:30. Hopefully I can get this finished in 30 minutes. So card number 1 is darkness. What is unseen? What knowledge am I missing? What is hidden and currently unknown to me? The Ace of Wands, thinking out of the box. New ventures or projects, whole new way of life. An ornate and blazing wand is suspended in the heavens. A gift from the divine, a pair of hands fervently reaches towards it in readiness to grasp the opportunity and initiate the creative action of human endeavor. All the aces indicate new beginnings as relevant to their suit and element. The Ace of Wands brings action and enterprise and holds the potential for a dynamic new venture or project. This exhilarating fresh start brings plenty of movement into the picture and suggests that you'll be all fired up and buzzing with excitement. In work matters, it can suggest new opportunity, endeavors, or creative project that's surrounded by energy and enthusiasm. You may feel inspired with fresh ideas and ready to initiate action. When connected to situations regarding home and family, it can indicate the start of a whole new way of life, and sometimes this may be quite literal in suggesting a new life like pregnancy. The Ace of Wands can add sparks of passion and existing relationships, and when connected to a new relationship, it may represent a fiery and passionate one. Romance. Reversed or challenging aspects. Difficult to get to new plans off the ground. Ideas that lack direction or implementation. Spinning your wheels, delays and false starts. Lack of motivation and feeling uninspired. In the right context, it can sometimes indicate impotence or challenges with fertility matters. true. The moon. My intuitive assessment of the situation. What is my gut reaction? Death. All things must come to pass. Endings and closure. Major change and transformation. An armored skeleton faces us head on, as though ensuring we must confront it. The banner holds the white rose of purity and light, and the shield depicts a white horse, often linked to the gods and a symbol of strength and power. The death card brings closure to a situation and an ending that will usher in major change, whereby an area of life will be transformed as a result. To benefit from change, we need to remain open to it and recognize that through every life experience, we have been given the opportunity for major growth on some level. The death card can release us from those things that no longer serve us, but we continue to cling to because we fear change. In doing so, we deny ourselves new opportunities that await. Throughout the course of our lives, we encounter many death card experiences, as without them there will be no changes and no new beginnings. It heralds the ending of one phase of life to make way for a new one. This card may present itself for someone experiencing the grieving process, but the interpretation is normally figurative and rarely literal. Reverse door challenging aspects. The death card reverse can indicate a refusal to let go and move on from an ending, being in denial that something is over, resistance to change, a slow decline and prolonged ending, or a stagnating situation. Card number 3 is reflection, the illusion. What are my bias? 8:30. So what are my biases, prejudices, and assumptions? How are they being rejected in my daily life? Well, the world card has appeared. All's well that ends well. Triumphant conclusion, successful completion. A female figure is confidently poised on a column of golden light surrounded by a laurel wreath symbolizing success. She holds a wand in each hand representing the union of opposites, now fully integrated. Under starry skies, 4 emblems representing the elemental suits of the tarot bears witness, suggesting the perfect order of the cosmos and our unified place within it. The world closes the circle to achieve a triumphant conclusion and successful completion, so it can represent the culmination and attainment of a crowning moment in some area of your life. Rewards are well deserved, and you will feel delighted with your accomplishments, which bring happiness and a deep sense of fulfillment. Just as the inexperienced fool sets off on his journey through the majors, the themes and advice throughout speak of duality and balance until we finally arrive at the world where all the lessons have been applied to achieve a harmonious and perfected state of the realization. The world is considered to be one of the most positive cards in the deck and assures of triumph in your endeavors. You're on top of the world. Reversed or challenging aspects can indicate delays or blocks to the upright meaning, but may also suggest stagnation, difficulty achieving long-term aims, an incomplete goal, or unfinished business. If the upright card is followed by one that is challenging, it can thwart plans and may indicate short-lived success. So, card number 4 is the dog, a friendly companion. What can aid me in finding clarity? The fool, keep the faith, trust your instincts. I've already read that. Card number 5, the wolf, danger. What instincts lead me astray? What do I need to avoid or watch out for? The Six of Swords, listening to my inner voice. Calm after storm, moving on, travel. Six swords accompany the woman on her voyage, suggesting she carries the wisdom of hindsight with her. The boat travels across a calm stretch of water under the light of the full moon. Both the water and the moon symbolizes emotions. The Six of Swords can represent moving out of stormy waters into calmer times. If you have experienced difficult circumstances, then this card indicates that matters will soon improve as life enters a more peaceful phase. Harmony will once more be restored. As the Six Swords in the boat demonstrates, although you may be moving on from a challenging situation, your past experiences remain and travel with you, a reminder of life's lessons encountered and the wisdom gained from them. The Six of Swords can represent the power of intellect, where logic and clarity of thought can provide a smooth passage over the emotions. The Six of Swords can also indicate travel and may be quite literal, representing a journey over water. Reversed or challenging aspects can suggest that plans run aground with delays or possible postponement. Resolution to challenges may not yet be found. If the upright card is followed by one that is more challenging, it may show that relief could be short-lived. Careful planning is advised to prevent sailing straight back into the storms and creating an out of the frying pan into the fire scenario. Card number 6, path. What is my next step? Where do I go from here? The Three of Swords. Every rose has a thorn. However that means. So the Four of Swords, all work and no play. Rest and recovery, retreat and consolidation. A knight takes rest from recent battles, symbolized by the three swords displayed between the banners. He retains his armor as the fourth sword remains close to hand, suggesting a pause in proceedings before continuing. The Four of Swords represents rest and recovery, taking time to recharge your batteries after a period of stress and strain. You may feel fatigued and slightly detached from outside events, experiencing a need to retreat and replenish energy reserves. For some, it can represent a period of respite, recuperation, or convalescence in relations to health and well-being. In business matters or financial affairs, it may suggest consolidation in order to strengthen your position, especially if there has been a fallow period or a pause in activity. A period of regeneration may be required in order to take stock, regroup, and regather material resources before continuing onward. In relationships, the four swords can show withdrawal or pulling back from a situation. So it may indicate taking time out for some breathing space. Reversed or challenging aspects, the four swords reverse can indicate picking up the baton and a gradual return to activities, suggesting a slow recovery. Some see the reverse card as the inability to gain some rest, even though it is desired. Conversely, other accounts view it as a period of imposed isolation and loneliness rather than voluntarily undertaking. The moon, appearances can be deceptive. The two of wands, the courage to be oneself. Joint ventures, establishing plans. The traveler walks towards two wands, firmly planted in the ground, suggesting taking action and plans becoming established. The two wands and the pathway are illuminated from above, forming a gateway to the future of an inspired vision. Having moved forward from the energy and ideas that the ace brought, the two of wands shows that the early stages have progressed to get something off the ground. This card can show that you're taking the initial step in the direction of your goals and ambitions, getting your course and putting plans into actions. So the two of wands brings continuation to the journey that began in the ace. So it usually suggests something that has already been started, taking early plans forward and working with them. Our traveler journeys light, suggesting the initial stages on their path as the vast and yet unknown horizon of their ambition unfolds into the distance. Working groups, business partnerships, and joint ventures can be indicated by this card, along with both formal and informal arrangements of collective endeavors such as collaborations. Reversed or challenging aspects, there may be difficulty or challenges getting plans underway. It can suggest that scattered focus is preventing progress from being made and a commitment to the task at hand is needed. May indicate a lack of harmony with a business partner or working group. 6 of Swords, listening to my inner voice. The Fool, keep the faith, trust your instincts. The World, all's well that ends well. The Four of Cups, self, self, self. Apathy and discontent, complacency. A well-dressed youth sits verdant, surrounding with 3 upright cups beside them, suggesting a good situation and waiting for nothing. From the heavens, a 4th cup is offered, yet the youth appears indifferent to this magical occurrence. The 4 cups suggests that something may fail to hit the mark and leave you feeling flat and uninspired, or it may result in an anticlimax that jades your expectations. It can represent a situation that has come stale and stagnant, or a sense of boredom and discontent with circumstances, meaning it can highlight a growing dissatisfaction There can be a warning not to become complacent or take things for granted, just as the youth disregard the magical cup and the image, as the Four of Cups can represent a blot on the landscape in an otherwise perfect setting. There can be a tendency towards an inner focus and preoccupation with self and circumstances, and due to this mood of apathy and disenchantment, be watchful that you don't inadvertently miss new invitations or opportunities that may be available at this time. Reverse or challenging aspects. Some see the reversal as a worsening of the upright meaning. It can also indicate an alleviation to discontentment with new possibilities emerging that bring some renewed energy and enthusiasm. You may be re-entering the flow of life following a dormant period or feel release from a stale situation. The Queen of Pentacles. To have a friend, be a friend. The Ten of Swords. The calm after the storm. So, disappointing endings, failed plans. A motionless figure lies beneath 10 radiant swords that bear down from a darkened sky. Amidst the scene of defeat, red poppies rise from the ground, a symbol of hope and peace for the future. The 10 brings completion of the suit and closure of a cycle, but in the suit of challenges, the sword appears to have gained the upper hand as they subjugated the figure in the card. While the Ten of Swords can suggest an ending to a difficult situation, it can also represent failed plans that bring a sense of disappointment. A situation may come to a close and fail to live up to your expectations, or plans may not materialize as you hoped. However, it brings release from an exhausting cycle, perhaps with something you just couldn't win, or just was just not meant to be. Being resigned to accept or surrender to overwhelming forces that seem stacked against you may be considered a wise move rather than a failure. As the poppies in the image demonstrates, new life will emerge and continue, offering hope for pathways yet to come. Reversed or challenging aspects, the reverse card may bring recovery and improvement following loss or defeat, with the inability to find a temporary advantage within the matter. When the upright Ten of Swords is followed by another challenging card, it can accentuate the less favorable influences. So, the Page of Wands, positive revolution. News regarding work or ventures, outgoing child. A well-dressed page in the color of their royal house confidently presents their wand. The page is young, representing youthful energy, children, and minors. In divination, pages are the main cards we look for regarding news and messages arriving. As relevant to the suit of action and enterprise, the Page of Wands usually brings exciting messages regarding work ventures and creative projects. There's an element of enthusiasm in relation to the wand suit, suggesting activities surrounding the arrival of this news. All forms of communications can feature, and the news received is usually of a happy nature, unless favored, followed by a less favorable card. So when representing a child or facet of personality, this card suggests they would be identified as having a gregarious nature, full of energy with a shiny disposition, bold and adventurous, confident and outgoing, happy-go-lucky. They may have a tendency to dive into things head first, but what they lack in preparation and foresight, they make up for with enthusiasm. They may be headstrong and prone to act impetuously, can represent young people with an astrological sun sign of the fire element, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. Reversal challenging aspects work-related news may not be what you hope to hear. Delays and blockages in communications. Representing a young person, it may take on the less favorable character aspects and can suggest being highly strung or lacking confidence to move forward. The Eight of Swords. Where did my life go? The Lovers. You can't always have your cake and eat it too. Love relationships, romance. A man and woman are joined in a passionate embrace, an integration of opposites. They are immersed and surrounded by water, symbolizing the emotions. The image appears to be an idealized version of love, but the male figure is almost transparent, suggesting the dreamlike quality of desire and passion. The lovers represents love and relationships, romance, desires, and passions, the harmony of combined polarities, and the perfect union expressed through love. The lovers can indicate the heady desires of a new love interest or the potential for a new relationship, and perhaps the decision whether to become involved. For those happily relationship with your partner or a situation that involves them and requires putting your head together to make a decision. I wouldn't usually see this card to suggest anything untoward without indications from any other surrounding cards. So in the RWS tradition, the image shows Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden with an angel prior to temptation with the apple from the tree of knowledge and their subsequent banishment. Images in historical decks often contain three people and suggest a moral choice between vice and virtue and making an important decision. Reversed or challenging aspects. When reversed, the lovers can indicate relationship problems, love that isn't reciprocated, or romantic expectations unfulfilled. A stale marriage or one of convenience, it can highlight a time of loneliness or separation. So the final card, and I've already read it, is the Two of Wands, the courage to be oneself. So that has been, I think that was Tuesday's reading of the moon. Appearances can be deceptive.